Seems like Absa is on a major buying spree of insurance businesses in Southern Africa. The foray into Mozambique, what informed that?
Thank you, Lerato. Yes, Absa has been quite successful till now, offering financial services to its banking customers within South Africa. And with a vast presence that both Absa and Barclays has in Africa, we're quite convinced that we can replicate this model in the markets where that makes sense. You would have known and realized that we have done that in Botswana earlier in this year and started a life company from the 1st of March. We were quite excited about the success that we've had there, and Mozambique being a neighboring country and having a bank that's owned by Absa was quite a next for us to explore.
What's the scope of your business growth in Mozambique? I know that Global Alliance has produced premium income above $25 million US, but can you keep on pushing that threshold?
Yes. If one look at Mozambique, the Mozambique economy has been growing quite fast, about 7% GDP growth over the last number of years. And if you look at the insurance market, it's still below 1% of GDP, where that compares to markets like Botswana and the other African markets. So there's significant scope for the insurance market to grow and to continue to grow.
I mean, you're comparing the expectations, I think, to what's the successes you've had in Botswana, but somebody would look at that and say, these are two vastly different economies with very different histories. A stable democracy like Botswana versus a frontier market like Mozambique that is very much in a post-war reconstructive phase. What are the risks of doing business in Mozambique that maybe you're not really focusing on right now?
I think there's definitely risks, and you know, the risk gets priced in, but also with the risk comes the opportunities, and that's why we have acquired Global Alliance. The specific player that we have acquired, we're quite satisfied with its risk management processes, the track record that it has on growth, and it focused predominantly today on property in the corporate market, which is a market which offers, I think, very different risk profile than what you have discussed. But we have had a presence in Mozambique with Barclays Bank Mozambique for some time. There's a number of customers that has got insurance needs, and we'll start with a focused customer offering to those clients.
Okay, even though you're focusing on niche clients and corporates, there are still other sort of economic risks of doing business there. Mertical, that's quite volatile at times, and the fact that Mozambique is to a large extent a dollarized economy, and we're seeing globally what's going on with the US dollar, the impacts on inflation. They often say, you know, when people are feeling pressure, the first thing to go is insurance.
Yes, it's true. I think if you look at that in Mozambique, it does not yet have a much developed the penetration of, for example, life insurance, which are normally exposed to that, is still 0.1% of GDP. I think what's quite important from our setup is that we work with Barclays Bank Mozambique on specifically the new offerings that we want to bring. And clearly there's a complementary process between the bank and the insurer in terms of looking at the risk profile of specific customers.
Okay, talking about those product offerings, the focus for Global Alliance has really been on short-term insurance. Are you going to continue on that track?
Yes, so Global Alliance has been quite successful with short-term insurance. It's got a very strong brand. It's got very strong relationships with brokers in the market. We definitely will continue with that. The benefit that we bring to Global Alliance is access to the Barclays Bank Mozambique customers, and it's got a very small life insurance offering. In fact, it's only recently launched its first product, and we would look at how we can extend that offering to the Mozambican market.
What does innovation mean for Absa? Because also Global Alliance is going to feed off the expertise that Absa has in the financial services space. So in terms of some of the more innovative things we're going to see you doing in these new markets?
I think what's quite important, if you look at bank assurance, the innovation sits in the distribution. That's where a significant portion of the cost of the insurance value chain resides. It's expensive. We think that using and leveraging the branch network of the bank one would be able to take that out to the benefit of the consumer as well as to the benefit of the shareholder.
Would you whisper in my ear, how much did you pay for this acquisition?
Yeah, Global Alliance has been a privately owned before, so we agreed not to disclose that.
Thanks so much to Willie Lategan, CEO of Absa Financial Services.